Pierce Riemer joins me now. He's the Director General of the World Petroleum Council. Thank you so much for taking the time. Now, you've been attending this gathering, this symposium, for several years. How important do you see the expansion of the energy dialogue?
It's extremely important. In fact, we like to think at WPC we sort of helped, because we used to have an OPEC IEA dialogue at our Congress, and we arranged the first ever press conference between the two leaders, and it was a few years after that the IEF formed. We were invited to its creation here in Riyadh, and we were here with Arnie, the first head of the IEF. And it is extremely important, and we're delighted that we are still involved and still part of discussions. And in recent years, Dr. Sun, who is also an old friend of WPC as well, has done a fantastic job in raising the profile of IEF and the cooperation around the world.
Now, again, we have IEA and OPEC. I mean, what was once the producer and the consumer organizations, and I suppose the lines sometimes have blurred now that we've got US being one of the biggest producers in the world and one of the biggest consumers. But the dialogue that has opened between them, whereby years ago it wasn't there almost, how has it sort of helped the transparency within the organizations and for the energy market?
Well, I think the transparency is key, and I think it's this cooperation that has helped. And I think by the presentations that we see over the years, we see, although some of the views are different, they're very close in IEA and OPEC on their views of the way the world is going. But cooperation like this also helps, I think, when OPEC looks at OPEC Plus and brings the Russians and others into the dialogue as well. So the fact that everybody is talking and cooperating is the important thing.
When we look at the future for IEF, and particularly I think they're looking at the environment, looking at carbon, looking at sustainability, and really following the agenda too of His Royal Highness, the Energy Minister here in Saudi Arabia, the unity that I think is there. How important do you think IEF, the role that they can play? And again, a transition in leadership in the IEF as happens from year to year as well. So what can we expect to the future?
Well, again, the transparency helps. We all are concerned about the climate, what we do in the future. I just had a discussion with the Energy Minister here, who has been a great supporter not only of IEF over the years, but of WPC as well. And we will continue the dialogue on what we can do in the future to produce what the world wants in a sustainable manner.